Hi everyone, or should I say hi my deadly opponents, maybe. We're now going to continue with a very short video on this game that I'm playing against you guys. It's still possible for you to sign up and have a chance at voting against me in this vote chess game. This is your opportunity to try to get a chance of playing me and to take me down to Chinatown, as they say. And we're going to pick up from where we left in the last video. A couple more moves being played, and I'm going to explain my thoughts up to the present moment. So the game has started very interestingly with a King's Gambit, and I have to say this Bishop c5 move was maybe rather dubious, because I was able to play d4, a move I want to play anyway, and gain tempo against your bishop. But hey ho, life goes on, don't get yourself down too much. You're still a pawn up for now. So you decided to put the bishop back on b6. And here, of course, I have to always be a bit careful about pushing my d-pawn because there's a queen f2 mate. But I'd be one patzer grandmaster if I fell for that. Now, I was thinking of a couple of ideas here. I elected to play the sensible knight to f3, gaining another tempo. Developing a piece, attacking your queen. What can be more logical than that? Now, I was kind of thinking about playing a mental move here, just to really sort of spice things up. And it did occur to me that the move g3 could lead to some very exciting positions. So I did think about this for a couple of minutes, with the idea if you take on g3, I was now going to play king g2. And this is a crazy idea, but the point is I give up like 3 pawns, so you can take on h2, and I was going to play rook takes h2. Now you can take on e4, and now I was going to play knight to f3. And this position looked very dangerous for you, I thought, if you went down this. Even though you're 3 pawns up, I am going to put my king on h1, and I have a big attack. Immediate threat, bishop takes f7. So I was playing with that idea, but I thought, well, the better option must simply to develop a piece, attack that queen. So that was an interesting idea. Now you decided to move your queen back to e7. And I have to say, you're in a bit of a dilemma here. It's quite hard to find a good square for your queen. Normally in this system, you want to put your queen on h6. So this would be the normal square to move your queen to in this position. But you do this, I've had this kind of thing before in against other grandmasters. For example, if we go back to maybe the move you should have played, queen h4 checks okay. But I had one game against multiple British champion David Howe, which went knight c6. And here I went something like d4. And after g5, knight here, David put his queen on h6. And the reason why the knight is quite well placed here on c6 is that it controls e5. And this is very important because knight to e5 from me is now not so strong. And if I ever try to kick that knight away by playing d5, my bishop on c4 loses a lot of its potential. Now, if we compare that to the game, you're not actually able to play this after knight f3. If you'd have played queen h6 here, then I would certainly have been tempted to throw my knight into your guts. Knight to e5. And here you have a major issue with your f7 square. So it's actually quite hard to find a decent square for your queen, and I think you picked probably the best choice here. What else do you do? I mean, if you go queen f6, I was going to go e5, gaining tempo to attack. It looks a bit negative to go all the way back, so queen e7 was the move you played. And again here I have a couple of options which I thought were all okay. My first instinct here was to try to move my pieces out to gain tempo against your queen. So I was originally going to go knight c3 with the idea of going knight d5. But then I thought, well, what happens if I take bishop takes f4 straight away, leaving you the option of taking on e4 and being a pawn up still? Now, are you going to be brave and take that pawn? Is it wise to take that pawn? Or are you going to do something else? So I thought I'd leave that lingering in the air for you. The issue you have is, if you don't grab a pawn, you could just get a worse position because of my strong centre. And later on, this centre could just win me the game. So over to you. Are you going to grab the pawn on e4? Or are you going to do something else? But so far, I'm quite happy with the way things are going. I've got 3 pieces developed. That can't be bad. I've got a strong centre. That's also good. You've only really got 1 decent piece developed, the bishop. Is there anything on the plus side for you? Well, my king is not an ideal square. If my king was castled, it would be a lot better. My king takes a bit of time to get to safety, so it's not all bad. Still a very interesting game ahead, and good luck with the rest, because you're going to damn well need it. Cheers for now. Until next time. Goodbye.